This is a Polar Star podcast.
Do you want to be great? Do you want to be open? Just bring yourself and that emotion. 'Cause it's two girls talking about stuff they don't give a fuck about. Two girls talking about stuff.
The Great Open Podcast with Kari and Luna.
Hi, Kari.
Hi, Luna.
What are we even doing here?
I can't believe we have a podcast.
Are we rolling?
Yes.
Holy rolling.
This
High
is
rollers.
really happening. Yeah, we are. You said the other day high rollers in reference to us and our friends, and none of us have any money, but yeah, I heard it and it was like my love language was like popping. I was like,
Did that come from people rolling? Like, not on drugs. Like the
No.
video reel?
What are you talking about?
High rollers?
You-
People who are famous because they like are rolling and like
you're
we're rolling.
asking me.
Action.
You're asking me where that term came from. I don't
Yeah.
know, but all I know is what I think about it. And you're referencing like us going out to fancy dinners with like
Yeah, we are high
famous
rollers.
comedians in
Ugh.
Portland.
We are high rollers. I mean, and also it could come from like lobster rolls.
I think that was probably part of
Why they call that restaurant High Roller Lobster Company?
maybe.
Yeah, probably. Well, all right. Welcome everyone to our podcast, The Great Open Podcast.
It's great. It's here. We're open for you. Our guests are great and open.
We're trying to be open with ourselves.
It's
the hardest part.
So hard. Oh my gosh. I think I'm an emotional like warrior ninja sometimes, and then it all goes like haywire. I'm like, oh gosh.
You seem like you're ninjaing this week. How are you doing this week?
This is like kind of a ninja week.
Mhm.
I would say
You're high rolling and just like not questioning it.
Well, I'm just, I'm feeling better at work, and that builds confidence, and I'm have things I'm figuring out, but I feel pretty capable of like grounding myself most of the time, and it's really I make mistakes and all of that, but I feel pretty good about it.
We all need to be grounded these days in particular because so much is so up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm glad you're feeling grounded, Kari.
I mean, I think it's like, I mean, recently my brother got married, and I thought that going into the wedding weekend, I'm 35 years old and I've been through 4 years of therapy. Like nothing will get me. Like I am like, this will be a piece of cake. And of course, like feelings aren't necessarily the evil things, feelings are just feelings. It's just a practice of like integrating all of the many voices and all of the parts that are saying so many different things, and you're like, I'm trying to hear all of you, like just give me a second. And I think that learning how to do that is really hard, but also like the most important thing.
Humaning it day to day. It'll be easier for you in the long run if you can do it on the day to day.
I mean, like, let's be honest. My room's a mess. I have like 1,000 million, like 15,000 emails unread. Like, it's all
email
kind
is the worst. Wish I could find a way to make email enjoyable again.
Which brings us to
back to the point, which is my name is Luna, and
my name is Kari Hodgins,
and Luna Colt, and we've done so much together. We live in Portland, Maine. We have been friends for almost 9 years. Dare I say?
Mm-hmm.
And we've been through so much together. We were like little babies when we met, and we're still little babies.
Yeah.
But we started a weekly open mic in Portland
sure
called the Great
did.
Open Mic,
The Great Open Mic.
which was comprised
upstairs
of
at Empire.
of showcasing all of the musical and other kinds of talent. Whatever you can use a microphone for, you were welcomed on our stage.
We provided, a stage and a microphone and just the ability to get up there. And
it was an amazing thing. This right now, we're in the midst of a global pandemic. We cannot be inside sharing microphones and having people
rotating,
rub shoulders and get drinks and fall on each other,
hug each other,
all of our favorite
make
things
out in
to
the
do.
bathroom,
So we have had to shift gears a little and find a way to feed our drive to entertain and our drive to connect with our community.
Yeah. And to have, interesting and impactful conversations with people who are doing stuff in our town. Because you cannot, especially I think this year has shown us, especially with all of the protests and everything going on, that you cannot get into a place where you're like, my town is a piece of shit, or like, I hate where I live. Like, you have to look out and like see that people are doing stuff in your town, and that's how that's how change happens on the local level. Of course by voting, but also just connecting to who's doing, who's arranging flowers, who's cutting hair, who's like going to protests, who is like organizing community gardens and meetings, and it's all very interesting.
We have a fantastic first guest
who
is so great and so open.
So excited to hear this voice again, because I've known this person for 5 years, ever since I moved to Portland, and she's just a powerhouse of a human being. And kind of, I think part of the reason why I wanted her on our show was because she lives in our neighborhood and she slings pizza pies like not anymore, but formerly we slung pepperoni pizzas together. And I really respect her as a person, and I just wish the best for her. So I'm just really excited to bring her on, and she's a life coach.
Yeah, you'll kind of get the picture of what it's like to have a life coach from a rural county in Maine who's not afraid of telling you like it is, telling you like you is, and giving you some great power symbols to hold on to for the rest of your life.
Yeah, we do some great sort of visualization stuff, and we talk about EFT. We talk about tapping,
tapping your body to wake it up.
We sort of learned how to do that.
We talk about how to visualize the partner that you want.
Yes.
And we get really deep with her. So I'm excited to hear this interview again. It was really, really great. And we are brought to you by Big Fred's Smut Collection, a weekly smut
subscription service.
Yep. I encourage you all to go follow Big Fred Smut on Instagram and DM them your email and get free smut every week, or upgrade to the paid version where you can have stories sent to you and all sorts of special stuff. So thanks to our sponsors. And enjoy our episode and interview with Emily Gendron.
Woo. We are brought to you by Polar Star Podcasts,
bringing you community conversations by highlighting the people, ideas, and industries that make Maine so unique.
Please visit polarstarpodcast.com and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes.
If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or creating a show of your own, email polarstarpodcast@gmail.com or reach out through the website. Again. That's polarstarpodcast.com. This is Emily Gendron.
Yeah,
Would you
that's me.
accept your full name being in public?
Yeah, sure.
Great.
Emily Gendron.
I'm pretty open.
That's our only criteria for this podcast.
Historically, I'm pretty
The
open.
great open
yeah.
You have to be
podcast.
great. You have to be open, and then boom.
Check.
Yeah. So
Check.
that's exactly what we thought when we thought of you.
Cool.
She's great. She's open,
Yeah.
and her voice is booming,
And it carries.
And she's super hot.
booming,
Very,
and it
very
carries.
far.
And so you just started a job in the cannabis industry.
So I just started a job in the cannabis industry. Yes. Working on some life coaching stuff. I'm actually going to be collaborating with, I have a very, very dear friend who's going to be retiring from her very long practice as a psychotherapist. So she is going to be kind of passing along some of her
Clients?
incredible knowledge. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see. But her and I are going to be working together a lot, adding to my kind of toolbox and different things. So,
So fun fact, I'm applying to graduate school to become a psychotherapist.
whoa, wow.
And Kari goes to therapy. And so do I. And that's also part of this podcast is like we love talking about feelings. We love getting real and going deep, which is another reason why we thought you'd be just a great fit because it's what you do.
Well, I should definitely get you in contact with her because she's had a long, very successful career as a psychotherapist, and she's brilliant.
That's
I
so
mean,
cool.
Incredibly brilliant.
That's
And
so cool.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Beautiful person.
Send me her info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, maybe we should mention that. Do you still have the website or do you still go by Golden Road?
Yep,
Coaching?
Golden Road Coaching. So www.goldenroadcoaching.me. You can find me.
www.goldenroadcoaching.me.
Yes.
So can you tell the people sort of what is a life coach?
Yeah, what's the difference between a life coach and a therapist?
This is one thing that I kind of struggle a little bit with coaching is that there's just so many different avenues that you can go down as a coach. There's career coaches, health coaches. There's just so that you can be a coach on super specific things. It's just like a really kind of a broad new age type of career, I guess, and type of new industry. But for me, I think I have my background. I have an undergrad. My undergrad is in behavioral science, and I took a lot of upper level psychology courses. So that's always kind of been an interest of mine. And kind of why I took the life coaching route was because for me, I really like more like a meditation, affirmation type, like more of like holistic mental health approaches, where I find with life coaching, there's a little bit more flexibility in what you can do with that. In my opinion, I would say the main difference between therapy and coaching or any type of like counseling or whatever, is typically like with psychotherapy, you would be doing a lot of like early childhood. You'd be looking a lot more of like your past. You'd be looking a lot more for like a specific diagnosis. Whereas in coaching, it's more of like from the here and now and where we're going to go moving forward.
Right.
So it's I don't want to say it's like less in depth, but I think it's I guess
I get the sense, and this is in part because you and I've talked about it before, because I've had the pleasure, and both of us have had the pleasure of having a session with you.
Yeah.
A couple of them actually.
Yeah.
And, whereas therapy or, whether it's psychotherapy or counseling or talk therapy based, that's like often sort of trauma informed, and you're healing
Right.
from something that maybe, is like continuing to come up that is, creating obstacles in your life. And whereas in coaching, you still are overcoming obstacles, but it's you're just like, okay, what can we do today?
Yeah, it's more of like here and now. What are you feeling now, and what can we do about it tomorrow? Type of thing, instead of like, what are you feeling? Like, where is this coming from? Like, where is this showing up consistently? I guess it's just, it's, I guess it would be like coaching's like a surface thing.
Yeah.
So I would say like for a lot of people, you could do therapy and coaching together, or, coaching, it could be really great for somebody who is having like a big life change or just like needs somebody to talk to. For me, I think it's just, life's hard, and not everybody, it's not everyone has somebody that they can just talk to. And it's like, sometimes with coaching, for me, I have a coach for stuff that I don't want to bother my friends with, or I want someone to specifically just pay attention to me about. Like, I don't want to listen to, I don't want to have a conversation. I want to focus on me and like what I'm thinking. And I just want to talk this out, and I just want to process this and then move on from it.
Yeah.
So for you, do you see your coach regularly, or do you wait till you have something specific that you want to work through?
I'm seeing my coach monthly. Just once a month right now.
Are you still doing some of the visualization stuff that you were doing when I met with you?
Yeah. Visualization, embodiment work is a huge thing that I like to do with my coaching practice. One thing that I did just add is EFT. It's called Emotional Freedom Technique.
Ooh, what's that?
It's a tapping. So it's like a combination between it's like modern psychology and Eastern medicine, and it's like so you have like pressure points in your body. So you would, I don't want to like be tapping on the microphone.
Yeah, you can
okay,
tap
you
the
can.
microphone.
But yeah, so you so it's
How do you do it?
So yeah, I'm just like trying to. So like I'm trying to like get them down here, but so it's basically, it's like there's pressure points in your face and on your body, and so
She's tapping like her clavicle. area
so it's like
for the
your
listeners.
collarbone here, the bone like right underneath, like on your eye socket,
Like your cheekbone?
yeah, I guess, yeah, under there, somewhere around there, I don't know.
She's not a doctor.
Don't.
She hasn't studied an anatomy.
Yeah, I did not take anatomy. And so that, the idea is that you're calming your body's reaction to a thought or feeling that's making you anxious or worried, or you're stressed out about it. So you can say, for you guys, I'm really nervous that this podcast is not going to go well. And so you would just keep tapping on that thought, and then you would just keep breathing, and we would go through the tapping, and then you would.
Now she's doing the top of her head.
Yeah, there's a whole sequence to it, and then.
So start with the clavicle, go to the cheekbones.
Yeah, so it's here.
Clavicle, cheekbones, like upper forehead, top of head.
It's like, I'm getting distracted. Oh yeah, underneath here.
Underneath your nose, up on your upper lip, and then on your chin.
It's like gotten to the point where like I've done this so much that it's just like instantly like,
And then on the back of your hand.
like so relaxing to me.
Yeah.
Your top of your pinky,
Top of your pinky.
and then your side of your hand.
Cool. I mean, to me, it feels like it would probably just bring me back into my body.
Yeah.
And like all the existential fears could potentially just seem farther away if you're just like, I'm
here.
touching myself and
Everything
I'm
is
here.
because that is when I experience anxiety. Even yesterday, I got a massage, and which I mean, I always feel so lucky to be able to be there and to do that, and so such a privilege. But I couldn't slow my brain down. I'm like, I'm on a massage table.
Yeah.
There's beautiful music playing, and I'm about to get a massage, and I was just like, oh, like I felt like I was gonna, like I needed to go or something, honestly. I felt like, and I wasn't able to do the tapping because you just taught me about it. Even though I'm somewhat familiar, my friend Ellen had told me about this, and she said that she had a session where she, a tap, like EFT session, where she just burst into tears, like started crying because like something moved, felt like it really did move through her body, and she's like, lost it, and it's very healing. But yesterday during the massage, I was like, oh, I had to get to this place in my mind where I said, I am on a plane of noticing. And I stuck with that. I just stuck with that, and I kind of just kept saying it over and over. And it was just like, I am on a plane of noticing. And it's like, noticing what? I'm noticing that my mind is racing. I'm noticing that I am like
mindfulness.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, as I'm starting to get massaged and I'm starting to, feel like let things move through my body, it was just like, oh, I eventually felt great, but it took some time. And, but that back to what you were saying, Luna, about how I think that it can just bring you back into your body and like.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, is if you think about when you're feeling upset, you think about like your body, how your body reacts.
Yeah.
And so if you can kind of calm down your body, then the thought that is attached to the feeling, if you can slow the body and calm the body, then the reaction to the thought is just less.
Yeah. It really is
And
just
so
a feeling.
it's easier to it's just a little bit easier to manage. So if you think about, you're thinking about, fuck, I don't want to. Oh, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can definitely
Fuck
swear.
yeah.
Lee, are we allowed to swear?
It's not up to me.
I was like, I should definitely be canceled off this podcast.
Shit,
so I'm
yeah.
not allowed to swear. But if you're thinking like, oh fuck, I'm worried about this. If you can calm your body, and that's one thing that the EFT really helps is it's pressures, and it's helping your body and your nervous system just relax. And so it's like, oh, when you think
It takes
about
some getting
the
used to, I
thought,
bet, because it's kind of like, especially the cheek one,
and
is
it
like
feels
kind of
very
alarming.
strange.
Yeah.
It feels very strange doing it. I mean, it feels very strange when showing people. I'm like, oh, just pound on your face really hard. It's like, oh, it's weird.
Maybe
Yeah.
don't
But
do it
it
in the
works.
middle of a job interview.
Yeah. And
I'm
Or a
super
massage.
or a massage.
well, it's
Could you
kind
stop what you're doing and just do this?
well, it's kind of funny because I'll find myself like,
Yeah.
I'll just be like tapping on my clavicle or whatever bone this is. And I'll just be like, oh, why am I? And then I'm like, oh, I'm trying to like calm down. And it'll just be like,
it's become practice for you.
it's just helps me calm down.
So you're doing that, are you seeing people in person these days, or just doing virtual sessions with people?
I don't
All
do
virtual?
Yeah. I find that like with coaching, it's I think that obviously I've very familiar with counseling. I've done a lot of it over many years, but I find something that's very powerful with coaching is that, when you're on the phone with somebody, or when, without that person sitting across from you, then you don't have to have that like need to have an immediate reaction or to have their eyes on you. So it's like when you have that kind of that space between the phones where you're like in your realm or whatever, and it's like, when you're talking to somebody and then there's just like silence for like 20 seconds, it's like I find it's sometimes, not for everybody, it's so much easier to sit in 20 seconds of silence when someone's not staring at you in a room, or you're like sitting in a room with somebody. And within, sometimes
That's true, I think.
in that 20 seconds or whatever it may be, something really profound could happen for somebody.
Yeah.
Well, my 1 half an hour session with you changed my life forever. Have I told you about it? how it's changed my life forever?
I don't know specifically, but
Well, I kind of want to talk about it if that's okay.
yeah,
Totally.
I would love that.
Well, basically, I came to you with a problem, and basically, you were doing some of your visualization stuff, and you were just like, what color, like, what's your favorite color, basically? And I was like, blue. And you were like, why? And I was like, because blue's like go with the flow. It's like calm. It's just beautiful. It's like serene. It's nice. And you were like, well, what would the color blue do in this situation? And I was like, man, the color blue wouldn't give a shit. Like, it would be so calm. Like, it would just be like, all right, like, we're going to be okay no matter what. Even if we fail, it's going to be fine. If we rock it at this, we'll be proud of ourselves or whatever. That's how blue would deal with it. Very just flow. And then you were like, and like, is there a car that you have always wanted? And I was like, I probably would want like an old Mustang convertible. And you were like, well, what would Mustang do in this situation? And I was like, Mustang wouldn't even be worried about the possibility of failing. It would just go in there and kill it and have a great sense of humor and have lots of confidence. And then you were like, well, put it together. You got Blue Mustang, baby. And then Blue Mustang became like my power symbol. And you were like, yes, your power symbol is Blue Mustang. And always when you find yourself in a conundrum, be like, what would Blue Mustang do? And literally I live my life by it. I totally live my life by it. And whenever I see a Blue Mustang, which is like once every 2 months or something like that, I feel cool. Like it's an auspicious thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on the right path.
That's beautiful, Luna.
I'm going to the correct location right now.
Follow the blue Mustang wherever it goes.
Yeah.
So that is beautiful, Luna. And funny story, when Emily, I don't think you know this, but a few years ago, Luna's friend Allie, who is a filmmaker, was making a movie basically about Luna and I and open mic and singing and everything. And at the end of the video, Luna thought she would give me sort of like a life coaching session, like based on the visualization that she used with you. And I told her this story that was actually a very true story of me riding my bike up a very steep hill. I rode my bike from Plattsburgh, New York to Burlington, Vermont. Wow. And with no helmet on what's it called? A mountain bike, which is really bad. Really not a good idea. Anyway, I'm like biking up this hill and like, and in my head, I look up and not in my head, in real life, there's a bird soaring, like just, flying, like having a great time. And I'm going up the hill and I know that once I get up the hill, I will be able to just coast, that feeling of like making it up and then being able to just coast down the other side. Mm-hmm. And so the mantra came into my brain, which follows, I was saying, that bird is kicking it. If that bird is kicking it, I can kick it too. Like, and I don't know what that means, but it meant something to me at the moment, and it got me up the hill. And Luna was like, that's a really great story. What kind of a bird was that? And I was like, honestly, I'm pretty sure it was a turkey vulture. So now Luna gets to have Blue Mustang, and I have to have soaring turkey vulture.
Yeah, it's true.
And she mentions it a lot, and it's.
I'm gonna. But more so, and now that we revisit it, because I forgot about the whole top of the hill soaring down the hill thing.
I was gonna say maybe your thing is the top of the hill, not the turkey vulture.
Thank you, Emily.
Is maybe more so.
I was like, I know what it is for you, turkey vulture. That seems right.
So what kind of bird was that? What kind of colors was he?
Exactly. I was like, this is what Emily did for me, and it worked for me. So,
did he have a specific colored beak? What would his name
Tan
be?
Turkey vulture beak. That's your power symbol. Anyway, I really love my power symbol, and I feel ownership over it. But I also, I think the world can have some of it also. If this rings true for any of you.
Well, I think it doesn't matter what it is, but I think if you find something that at any specific time where you need a little courage or, you know, whatever it may be, finding what that is. And because I think, you know, for you, what it is, it's a perspective shift in your mind. You're thinking visually, you're thinking of the color blue, and you're thinking about like what it represents and how beautiful, you know, you're thinking about that moment, you know, what we were talking about, what we were describing. And then you think about the Mustang, and then you think about what that means to you. And yeah, and then you put it together, and then, you know, what it does when you visualize and you think about that, the response in your body, and then what it does to your mind. It's tricking your mind, it's tricking your body.
It gives me honestly so much like courage and fervor to attack when I think about it.
It's such a small shift that, and that's why
I'm
think
glad
like,
I didn't say like Toyota Camry or something, like one of my old ride or dies.
it could have been, I mean, but then, you know, I mean, that still could have been like something beautiful though.
I know, it just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Right.
I'm just glad it went that way. But yeah.
It just, you know, that's your thing. You know?
It is. It really, really is.
And that's,
is forever.
it's not, you know, that won't hit the same for someone else. And that's okay. And, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's all about,
but I think
you know,
everyone
what it
should
does
make a
for you.
session with Emily to find out what their power symbol is, because it's a worthy tool.
Yeah.
You too could be a soaring turkey vulture. Actually, that was Luna's weird life coaching session.
She's right though. It's more about the top of the hill and like getting to the top of the hill, and then it's cruiser-rooskin after that.
Cruiser-rooskin. Oh, rooskies.
Oh. So the other thing about this podcast is that we are trying to keep it like pretty Portland centric
or Maine, kind of Maine centric. You are very Maine.
Oh, baby.
You are. That's another reason why
you're the one who
207.
taught me what the county is.
Bleed 207, baby. Bleed it. Live it.
Yeah, you like to like do things with motors and like do motor
I was on a boat yesterday.
stuff.
And on a four-wheeler.
Yeah,
yesterday.
four-wheeler type. That's the type.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you like to go out.
I like to do hick shit.
Yeah, and I do too. But yeah, I'm jealous of your access to that stuff.
Fort Kent originally?
No, I'm from Holton originally. End of I-95 connects I-95 and the Trans-Canada. So you literally can't go farther on the 95 until
without
going to Canada. It's the last exit before Canada.
Yeah.
On 95.
And then you lived there in a small town?
Yep. Lived there my whole life. I was actually up there last weekend. Not last weekend, the weekend before. I was up there.
Do you mind telling our audience listeners who are not from Maine how long it takes to get from Portland to Holton?
Takes 4 hours.
Okay.
So
maybe not as many hours as I thought.
Fort Kent 6.
Okay. I know someone from Fort Kent.
Yeah,
that's
Fort Kent 6.
Okay.
Holton's 4.
That's like a long time.
Like you can get to New York City from Portland.
Definitely.
From Portland, I think it's 4 hours from Portland to New York City, like roughly. I could be wrong.
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5, 4 or 5.
I would say 5.
Lee, can you please Google that for us?
5 hours and 3 minutes.
To New York, all right.
Well, so you could go to New York City from Portland, Maine, or to friggin' Fort Kent. Yeah. That's like
not even. You wouldn't even make it to Fort Kent.
You wouldn't even get there yet.
You'd make it to Ashland.
My goodness. So I just wanted to make that clear to our listeners because Maine is a big state and there's a lot.
And, you know, I would strongly encourage people to, I mean, there's not much up there and it's like, it is, you know, there isn't much up there at all. But if you like views, it is, I mean, it is stunning. It is stunning.
I like
and I mean,
views.
like, this is, if you look at a map of, like, if you look at a map of, like, northern and western Maine, there is nothing. There's nothing up there. I mean, there's
nothing but views.
There's nothing but wood. It's just, like, worth seeing if you like exploring. There's cute little shops, you know, like when I was in Holton, I went to like the farmer's market.
Oh,
I got my Grammy a little felt bunny making
How's your Grammy
kid.
doing in this pandemic?
She's doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's keeping busy. She likes to sew and write and read and garden, and she hangs out with her new husband Leonard.
Hey,
Yeah, she got married 2 years
what's your grandma's
ago.
name?
Peggy.
Peggy and
Leonard?
Leonard?
Peggy and Leonard. Yep.
Ooh,
she
that
got
sounds-
remarried. She the mailman. Which,
No
ironically
way.
enough, he's a retired mailman. But he would deliver the paper at the retirement community that she lived in.
Oh my
and he
God.
was smitten. He was smitten with Miss Peggy.
Of course he was.
And he asked her out to go to pizza.
Mm.
And then he asked
My
her to
word.
marry her. And they got married at their retirement home in
Wow.
Booth Bay Harbor.
Does he live in the retirement home now?
Oh, yeah, they live together now.
They live in the
They
same.
have a 2-bedroom.
Ooh.
They have a 2-bedroom apartment.
Did they sleep in the same bed? No.
No, they sleep in opposite beds.
Yeah, because there's just.
I mean,
two-
it's
Yeah,
He's
well-
like 94. Like,
Are they like intimate? Are they like? Did they touch?
yeah,
Are
they like hold
affectionate?
hands.
Oh.
Yeah, they're very sweet. It was very
I
sweet.
love
I was
that.
her maid of honor. Yeah,
Oh my
Oh.
God.
yeah,
Emily.
it was really sweet. Yeah,
They got married 2 years ago, so
2
they're
years ago.
newlyweds
newlyweds.
still, technically. I
Did
don't
they
know what
go
the
on a
cutoff is,
honeymoon?
but
No.
they went for pizza again.
They
They
probably
had more
probably
pizza.
like went to Southport Island. Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
love that story.
Yeah.
Love in the time of Corona.
Oh
and,
yeah,
And before, I guess.
Yeah, 2 years ago. But
Uh,
yeah, love.
Wow.
You know,
I mean, sometimes
you never know.
Pizza is
You
where
never know.
our friendship began.
Yep.
Emily and
Working at a
I
pizza
worked
place.
at Bonobo Wood Fired Pizza in the west end of Portland I worked there for 3 years. You worked there for like
For literally ever. Yeah, on and off. Yeah.
on and off a little bit, but over the course of like 6 or
6
7.
Yeah, 6 or
Something like
7
that?
years.
Wow.
It's a long time. Yeah. I mean,
Can I just call to attention that we all just exited the service industry at the same exact time?
Whoa.
Oh.
And none of us work in a restaurant right now?
Whoa.
That is weird.
Whoa. What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That restaurant industry is it's dark, deep black hole that's hard to get out of sometimes.
Well,
I'm grateful for it, don't get me wrong, I
Lot
know,
of
yeah.
pros,
I know,
lot of
I love
cons,
the
a lot
restaurant
of apples and
industry.
oranges.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, we all are very grateful for our time and the serving of the food jobs. I'm so glad to be not working in a restaurant regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for a new change. I didn't work full time in the restaurant industry, in the service industry for very long.
Mm.
But I feel like, Bonobo again is
It's not like
it's not like
it's not the same as working,
So
it's
it's like I can't even I feel like almost
Well,
like,
neither is the place that I worked. I worked at Bayside Bowl, which was probably my favorite place I've ever worked in service.
Yeah.
But it's still like bringing people what they asked for and
Yeah.
cleaning up after them. You know?
And yeah,
Like, no
dealing
matter
with the
what.
Fast as
public.
possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still just that. Whether it's fine dining or not, it's still granting requests here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, every day, not here and there, regularly. But I mean, I guess we're doing that in whatever we're doing for work. We're just granting requests,
Mhm. Well, I
one
mean,
way or
I
another.
recently started working at which I really like so far. I mean, I'm cleaning, so it's still grunt work. I'm still cleaning people's toilets. I'm still super sweaty. But like one thing that I noticed was that whereas in the service industry where you're like rushing around to clean up everything to make everything perfect before service so that you can then deal with a bunch of people's bullshit. Like now I work really hard to make everything perfect, but then I go home. And
Yeah.
they just get to be in their house.
Yeah.
That's like really nice.
See, I've done a lot of nannying too, and
Mhm.
like household management, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it, stuff. And I love doing that
Mm-hmm.
because it's so satisfying, and it's so task oriented where it's just like, okay, clean this entire living room, and then you can like see the entire living room being just like cleaned after, and then you can just be like, ah. Where it's like in the service industry, it's like, here's your food. Oh, thank you for the great service. And then you have the next person that's like, my fucking pizza's burnt. Like, why is this taking 20 fucking minutes? You know what I mean?
It's not. It's
like,
never going to be relaxing. Like there's something where you can sort of just
the nature of it
focus.
is not relaxing because the nature of the job is to anticipate someone's needs like before they even have it. So you're always like trying to be one step ahead of them. And even if they're relaxed, you're waiting for like they just drank an entire Sprite. They're going to have to use the bathroom. Is there enough toilet paper in the bathroom? Is it clean enough? Did someone stay in there for 20 minutes shooting up the heroin?
Someone just,
Sorry, we don't have to go there, but that
happens.
Yeah.
That happens. Addiction's real. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, yeah. But so, yeah, I think because you're always just trying to think about, the next thing.
And so
or
at least
it
what you do now, you can sort of just like,
and a table
you can
turns.
just zone in, put in your headphones, do your
Mhm.
work. It's very, very just honest, good work. You're helping people's lives,
Mhm.
and
And
you don't have to
really like
be
like
at a
doing
restaurant till
that,
midnight.
That work. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have a day job,
Mhm.
Mhm.
which is a cool change in pace.
It's
Like,
very
I worked 9 to
different.
5 today, and it was amazing.
I'm loving it too. I'm working 10 to 6. Well, I sort of wanted to see if you were open to like doing a 5-minute coaching session with me and Kari to sort of help us flesh out some of our intentions around this podcast.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we could just do it as an experiment.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
And if it's something you feel
Yeah, we
Interested in.
can give it a go.
Yeah. See how it goes. We can always edit it out.
we totally can edit any of this out. And but basically we have some thoughts, but thought maybe like doing sort of a seeing a coach together could be helpful. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never done relationship counseling.
I was about to say I've never coached 2 people at once. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
And we already did the EFT. We did a lesson.
We did a group session EFT. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we can.
Mm-hmm.
Start by tapping.
We can do it. We can do
Emily needs
better
to
one
do
of
some
those.
tapping
I know,
while
I'm
thinking
like-
about this life coaching session.
How's this gonna work? But whatever. We'll just go with it.
We can just be super fast.
Oh,
Speedy life coaching.
That's less nerve-wracking.
One thing that I have done, not a ton, but one thing I've been wanting to do more in my coaching practice is to coach people on kind of manifesting and I guess how can I explain it? Figuring out and manifesting a partner. Okay. Because I have this very ridiculous story about how I manifested Chris, my partner, and how other people can do this as well.
Ooh, I need this.
So yeah. So that's like one thing, because I think a lot of times when people think about a partner or when they're thinking about people that they're attracted to, they're thinking, I have so many friends. I don't know. This also could be like a county thing, but like, oh, I want like a plumber, or oh, I want a carpenter, or I want a guy who
Fisherman.
drives a truck, or yeah, I want like a manly man, or, I want a guy who makes a lot of money, or, I want a guy who, or, or a woman who's got some big boobs, or, whatever, they think of like these physical traits, which, I think there's a variety of factors that get in people's way, whether they're lacking confidence, or they don't feel like they're worthy of love, or they have some bullshit that's getting in their way, like some past relationship stuff, or maybe there's some, work stuff, or there's some just difficult life stuff that's getting in the way, where it's like they're not available for a relationship. Relationships are really hard. They're not ready for a relationship, or they're just looking completely in literally all the wrong places. Okay. So what
Do you mean like Rooskies?
No, I mean, no. So what I would say, LFK. So yeah, okay. So there, yeah. So you're going,
Not me.
Okay.
I don't do that.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Someone who may
Someone who
go
would
to
do that.
Rooskies and LFK specifically looking for
They
a
can find a
specific
plumber at Rooskies. So
type of person might not be the best way to approach how finding a partner. So what I would say is, to think about, let's do it, Kari. You want to do it?
Let's do it. Ooh,
Okay.
cool.
All
This
right.
is fun.
So
Should I do it for fun?
Yeah,
I'll just
sure.
do it silently on the side.
Yeah. Do it. Yeah, we'll do it. So, we're going to do it rapid. So this
Okay.
is just a rough idea.
Great.
But, I want you to think about, like one specific person in your life who means a lot to you. Okay.
Does it have
think,
to, not a
yeah.
romantic person, just anybody?
Just anyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I write it down?
No, just think about it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to on the fly here. So, what qualities does that person have that you like?
I like that this person is really funny.
Write that down.
And
She's talking about me.
I mean, she might be.
you don't know. I like that this person is likes to talk, like have deep conversations.
Okay.
She's still talking about me. I'll shut up now.
Actually, slide me your notepad. Okay. And your pen. Keep talking.
Okay. I like that this person is really, really loves like nature and is inspired by nature.
Not me so much anymore. Cancel.
You'll know if it's you if I say, I like that they say, I'm going to take a whiz.
Oh, God.
This person uses words like whiz.
Okay. I like that this person has really great hair. I don't have to have a partner with great hair, but I just like that
That's
this
okay.
person does. Okay. I like that this person is really like super down for adventure and also likes to be generally more prepared for adventures than I am. I'm kind of a more like I just hit the road and then go, oh crap, I forgot everything I need. And this person is like has thought ahead to be like we'll show up at a campsite and they'll be like,
I have toilet paper and whiskey.
I have toilet paper, I have whiskey, I have
asparagus.
I made a whole charcuterie board. From scratch.
Must have charcuterie board and backpack.
Yeah. I like that this person has a really good taste in music. And has like a sense of, I guess it's tied into with the deep conversations part, but like a sense of spirituality that is something I can like vibe with.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
I'll just fast tracking it.
All right.
So, what's that? Oh, funny. Deep conversations. I put sense of like artist, artistic, thought, spirituality, active, outside, hygiene, adventurous, organized, a caretaker type. Okay. Okay. So like this is the type of stuff that we would be looking into. And like this is the type of partner that you would want to manifest. Okay. Instead of saying like, oh, I'm going to go find a partner at Rooskies. Or I'm going to go, I want a person who has dark hair.
Oh, you mean
so you're
stepping away from like physical attributes or I do believe that we, especially when we're younger, we are so preoccupied by, I want to make sure that I'm physically attracted to this person. And therefore they have to be super tall with broad shoulders, or they have to be a fisherman or something. It's like, well,
That's
what?
gotten me in so much trouble too.
Totally,
And it doesn't
I agree.
mean that you aren't gonna necessarily find those things. Do you know what I mean? It's
It may,
but also I just think that people so many times, like, someone's standing right in front of them and they're like, oh yeah, they have everything, but they're 2 inches too short.
Mhm.
And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're 2 inches too short, but everything else could make you happy. You know what I mean? So
that's
it's
a classic, I think.
of course. I mean, this isn't like you know what I mean? Of course.
I
You
listened to this podcast today about how you can't really. It's way harder to start a relationship unless you've really thought about what your values are, and that's something that I've only recently tried to do with myself is get to the bottom of what my values are. And I think once I honed in on that, and once you realize that your values become your priority and they give you a sense of calm because you know how you're going to react to things, you know what to look out for in people. Once your values become just a centering point for yourself, then I think relationships are easier because you don't have to be like, what is my reaction to that? It's like, these are my values. This is my reaction to this. And I think that struck a chord with me too, because it just does seem like once I started to put my finger on how important having a value system is within your own brain and body and personality, and it makes your intentions a lot clearer with the people you want to have in your life and the kind of relationships you want to have and the kind of conversations you want to have and just the energies you want to be surrounded with. And
well, you just nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is basically what this is you're figuring out what the values of a partner that you want, not physical or, I'm attracting someone who is kind, someone who is active, someone who is adventurous, someone who is organized. That is who I'm attracting. That is the person that I'm attracting for me.
Yeah, and you
that is
can
the
say
partner.
no a lot quicker too, which is I think that's
exactly. It's
for
when you
me that was
become clear.
oh, okay, I need to start being a little bit better about just realizing that it's okay to prioritize my value system, and it doesn't mean anything is bad about anyone else's, but it's not really just it's going to be so hard to be in a relationship with someone who you have to strive to make your values the same. And I just listened to that today at 5 p.m.
Well,
And
I think also I've had the experience of dating the person that physical ideal that my younger self thought that I wanted, and I dated that person and it was ugh, and I now after I'm 34 and I'm 35. I just turned 35. Holy shit. Damn. And I met, because I had that experience, I sort of was with the person I thought was the ideal. I now see that that sort of spark, or that, whether it's sexuality or that's whether, I think it's more than that. I think, there's just something about a person that you can be drawn to that's so therefore so many people can be sexy,
Right.
So many different kinds of people can be sexy if you just are taking that, your is set notion of what someone should look like,
Also, attraction really does grow in my experience if someone's
kind and funny.
yeah,
and
if
all the
someone
things.
has these values that you find sexy as hell, and just damn, that's your reaction to the situation. That is exactly my reaction to the situation. And finding someone, I think it's important to find someone who has similar reactions to weird things people say, so that you can sort of side eye each other. I think that's important for me, is someone who also recognizes weird situational shit, and I don't want to have to explain what just happened
Mm,
like energetically to someone.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's some like sophisticated shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think it, comes down to knowing what you want,
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
not settling for less, and really knowing that you're worthy of it. I
Mhm.
think, that was a really big thing for me, was knowing that I'm worthy of love.
Totally.
Because for a long time, I really did not believe that.
Mhm.
And then I finally got to the point where I was like, yep, I
Mhm.
believe it. And then I did this little exercise and I said, I am manifesting I said, I'm attracting a man who is kind, who is all these things. And I said it every fucking day. And a week later.
Whoa, a week?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Listen here, folks.
I mean, I'm just saying.
This can
I'm just
happen in
saying,
one week.
No. But I'm just saying, if when you open yourself up
Mhm.
and you really drop your expectations
Mhm.
and open yourself up, know your worth, know your value, know what you want.
Be honest with yourself, be honest with the people around you about what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
I don't know, let it come.
Say la vie, let it go.
Trust the process.
Let it go. Let it go.
Isn't it Let It Be?
No.
No. What?
Let it be.
There is Let It Be. Is a
Was it
song.
Frozen?
Frozen is Let It Go.
Be is another song by
Oh.
the band called the Beatles.
No, I know. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, damn. I was thinking.
Let it be.
Let it be.
Da-da-dee-da-da. Something. I hated Frozen the first time I saw it.
I've never seen it.
I've never
hated
seen
I've
it
never
either.
seen
I just
it.
shamed you.
I have
for-
I have a triggering memory of a very, very challenging student
Who loved
who
Frozen?
loved Frozen. He was-
All kids like Frozen. I really didn't like it the first time I watched it. I was like, this movie is full of holes. I don't understand why everyone likes this. And then I watched it with my 3 and 5-year-old cousins, and they knew every song and they loved it and they were glued. And I was like, all right, fine. You guys are cute watching this, therefore I guess it's fine.
So
that does sweeten up the.
cute
more
people
of a
watch
s-
anything, you will like it too.
I guess probably. I don't know. I'm
That's-
a pushover.
that's my
Write that
takeaway.
down.
I'm a,
That's my
just a
takeaway.
sucker
Just
for
kidding.
cute toddlers who like to sing. That's probably it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Emily, thank you so much
I
for
don't
coming
know if
today.
that even worked, but
No, this was awesome.
Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
that.
It also just gives us a chance to, to just see what being here feels like. And obviously, I think
people who are going to listen to you and your energy and want to hit you up to be there, to have some coaching sessions.
Mhm.
So
That'd be cool.
I hope that happens. Do you do sliding scale? Do you have a fee?
well, what I'm trying to do right now is get credits to it's ICF. It's like the coaching, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I lowered my prices to $30 a session,
Wow.
which is incredibly cheap.
That
So
is
yeah,
incredibly
this
cheap.
get it while the getting's hot.
Yeah, so I can get hours, so I can apply for the certification.
Mhm.
And people can contact you at goldenroadcoaching.me.
Mhm.
That is goldenroadcoaching.me.
Thank you.
Emily Gendron.
Emily
Yeah.
Gendron, everybody.
'Cause it's two girls talking about stuff they don't give a fuck about.